We know the role of accountants is rapidly evolving as technology such as AI transforms the profession and expectations of clients. Firms that thrive aren't just handling tasks themselves, they're focused on building and managing intelligent systems that automate routine tasks. Success now means setting up technology and processes that help teams deliver better results for clients and drive real growth. Today, I'm joined with Ariege from Bill and Michelle from convened. Please tell me a little bit about your role and yourselves at your companies. And Ariege, I'll start with you.
Yeah, for sure. My name is Ariege. I'm the SVP and GM of Accounts Payable and Accountant Partnership at Bill, and always fun to be with you, Kim.
Happy to have you. And Michelle.
Hi, everybody. Michelle Voyer with convened. I'm a director in our client advisory services practice, and my primary role is driving technology, automation, and software solutions across our client advisory services client.
So excited to have you both here, and we're going to tackle the topic of tech shifting.
Let's go.
So Ariege, AI and automation have been around for years, even though we don't necessarily think about it in the same way. But from a technology perspective, what do you see as a big transformational shift in AI that are happening this year that will impact firms?
This year, yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I think apps have been, automating for decades now, and the tools that companies are using to do this are evolving over time, and AI is just, another tool in the tool set. They've been using AI for decades, but the advent of agentic experiences and generative AI are just more tools in the tool set for them to do that. If you ask me what's going to happen this year, I mean, the reality is like things are advancing so quickly, nobody knows the answer to that.
Right.
Just the reality is nobody knows the answer to that. But I would say like my best guess is that what we're seeing is, automation of tasks, which is happening now. That's going to quickly shift into AI-driven workflows and proactive analytics at minimum, right? At minimum, that's what we know we can do right now. But I think the biggest thing I'd love for people to take away is that you're just going to see a ton of ambition from app developers that's ultimately going to result in substantial value to you. And perhaps, one thing I might offer is to prepare, to benefit from that avalanche of innovation, across your entire tech stack is, to just really, really make sure that you're ready for that, to prepare for that. So that's what I would suggest. And I think as a result of this, over time this year, you're going to see the roles of accounting professionals shift into technology orchestrators. You're going to be expected by your clients to lean into tech and just help them make really good decisions.
Yeah, and I think that's really helpful, and it leads right into my next question over to Michelle. Like, how are you seeing client expectations evolve as technology has? Are they asking, for advisory more than we've ever seen before? Are they looking for real-time data, which we talk about that a lot when it comes from the practice side of it? What are you seeing as you talk to clients?
Absolutely. And I think it's a great lead-in because not only are we seeing client expectations shift as they should, but client engagement is really increasing when it comes to being an active participant in the solutions that we're designing to power their organizations forward. And I think what's behind that is just CFOs and organizational leaders are getting tired of staffing shortages and the constant talent challenges that they're facing. And so they're really actively participating in ensuring that you're solving the problems in the right way using technology. And so typically your client isn't necessarily as invested in how you're getting the work done that they're coming to you to do. And I'm seeing a shift in really an engaged interest in what those solutions are that we're deploying for the clients to make sure that they're sustainable and that it's not going to result in just the continuous talent challenges that they're facing.
Yeah, I think, that's very valuable just to think about the way that clients are working with you today versus the way clients worked for us even like 2 years ago in practice has been significantly different. So Ariege, I'm going to come back to you. You've spoken about how technology is accelerating and we're seeing a shift for firms to do it with you, to design the system that does it for you. And I think that's so exciting, first of all, and also empowering. Can you talk more about the shift and where you see the biggest opportunities for firms to leverage AI?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you're right. Traditionally, a lot of accounting tech has been, about do it with you, and they're just tools to help you get work done. But they're still relying on accountants to run the process step by step. What's really exciting right now is that we're moving towards designing systems and workflows where software takes the lead. And the humans, like the steps that are happening are really like tweaks to oversee and manage overall. And so much of the work is happening systematically. And one thing that I heard you share, Michelle, which really resonated with me is part of a panel. It just really stuck with me is that, you know, when we think about CAS in the world of CAS, that 3-letter acronym, it's got to evolve. It's got to evolve to a 4-letter acronym. You've got to add another A. It's got to be CAAS, Client Advisory and Automation Services. And I just thought that was really profound. I couldn't agree more. I think a major component of your value, of the value of accounting professionals over time, it's got to be your know-how around technology. It's actually really heartening for me to hear that clients are it's not just something that we know is necessary for the accounting profession, but it's something your clients are like testing you on and expecting through the course of conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to add another A to the mix because
We're going back to another A if we're gonna do that.
you know, as far as 2 A's, 1 A, what the
3
A
A's.
means.
Yeah.
But I definitely think automation belongs as an A, whether it's the only standing A or what have you. So I think that's been really an exciting shift that we're seeing happen along with the rise of the idea of the chief AI officer.
Right.
That's something that I'm
Love
loving to see because I just think it'll be a really powerful addition.
100%.
Yeah. I also heard you say something about technology and process. You know, as I was growing up in this space, it was always you built your processes
Yeah.
and then you bring in your technology. We are now starting to talk about you bring in your technology and then we'll develop the processes around it.
Totally.
Because a lot of the processes will already be embedded in the technology. And I'm doing a session at DCPA on that. And I'm super excited about it too, because I think it really is a mind shift from what we had in practice for all those years.
Well, totally. I mean, I think it's a trap, actually. Like when you think about the way that software has been developed in the past, it's like, let's digitize your manual process. And if that's all that's happening is like automating your manual process, then we are missing the boat on the value of AI, right? Like we could completely reimagine how work gets done as a result of these tools. So I'm with you 100%.
All right, Michelle, I'm coming back to you. Can you give us some examples of how AI and the concept works inside of CAS and at CohnReznick?
So at CohnReznick, and I've had the benefit of being and seeing all the different stages of cloud accounting and automation and now AI, which is powering the automation. And at CohnReznick, we've been fortunate enough to build a dedicated software solutions group within our client advisory services practice. And so that has allowed us to really have a core focus on selecting the right tools and sticking to those tools to serve our clients in different industry verticals that we focus around. And so we have our set tools that we specialize in. And those will differ based on industry vertical, based on size of the client, and based on complexities of the client. And so we base our solutions around that. And I think having the dedicated software solutions team, which a very powerful component of that team is project management. And that has been just an absolute crucial glue that holds projects together and ensures that you get to that end goal on track, on time, you're managing risks, all of those things. And I think one of the things that we've seen in terms of challenges that we're helping our clients work through is that, of course, the organizations that we work with are not all startups that are just coming into the age of automation and they have the benefit of just selecting the right tool for the right thing. These are organizations that have been operating for 10, 20, 30, 40 plus years. And with that comes antiquated systems and much more change management around that. So we have developed ways of helping navigate that with our clients, for our clients, and again, implementing that project management component to ensure that it's all kind of getting done at the right time. We'll take a phased approach as well, depending on the situation, just to make sure you're not bolstering too much change all at once and you're prioritizing those solutions appropriately.
I really like the way that you described your approach to like your tech stack, because what it sounds like you're doing is you're standardizing, but you also have some flexibility in there for like right product, right client.
Exactly. And one thing we try hard to avoid is over prescribing technology as well. You may be really excited about a certain system because it can absolutely do everything and then some, but I think there is a such thing as over-prescribing technology. And so finding the right solutions is so important, and putting, your team or an organization through change management and finding out that's the wrong tool is one of the worst things. You've made the investment and you're kind of almost stuck with it at that point for a little while. So we take measures up front, and we'll deploy, and sometimes it's a mini assessment process. It doesn't have to be this lengthy, complex assessment, but we do take the time to do a brief assessment to make sure that we're deploying the right tools for the client.
Yeah, I like that. You also mentioned change management from the client side
Yeah.
as well. And I think that's so powerful. I mean, that's really important because a lot of times we get stuck in the change management inside of the practice side and what we're working with our own individual staff on. And we forget about the client side. It's all change for them too. You're completely changing up the way that they're managing their financial function inside of their businesses. So thinking about the change management piece from both sides, and project management 100% has to happen, and it never goes away. Even you start with onboarding and on your recurring services that you do with those clients all month long, that's all project management. And it's so important on the timeliness of how we do things for firms or for our clients inside of our firms. So Ariege, I'm going to come back to you. Bill has introduced some exciting new features, and including multi-entity and enhanced reporting, which I know everybody has been working towards and very excited from a firm perspective about those are coming out. So talk to us a little bit about how that's going to help firms work with their clients.
Yeah, for sure. We're really excited about these experiences. And I think I get really energized and excited because of all the energy and excitement I've seen from our beta participants. The feedback we're getting is stellar. What we really heard is that the ability to set up companies in a nested fashion and manage bulk actions across these organizations has really been a game changer for people. So it's bulk actions, it's reporting across them, it's managing vendors across. These are just game-changing features for firms. So we're super, super excited about that. And during our beta, I had people reaching out to me, just sharing how much it's really streamlined the work through all those batch actions and ability to kind of manage things in bulk. Danny, a member of my team, did a deep dive just yesterday with 40 accounting professionals. And some of them had been in our beta, and I was really listening in. And it's really heartening to know how securely on the right path we are with that experience through their feedback. We're heavily investing in our reporting capabilities as well. And we're starting in individual orgs and orgs with multiple entities so you can report across, and with practices across their client base. And that roadmap is really stellar too, enabling firms to really generate reports on the value that they're delivering to their clients. That's something that we're looking through. And then the next thing that we're doing on the reporting function is helping practices understand how their team members are performing. Yeah, both on the dimensions of like accuracy and efficiency. There's so much rich data that we can generate to help you understand how your team is performing. Anyway, the work there is being super well received. So excited for that to be coming too. The other thing that we've been talking a lot about is the work that we're doing to our platform that is really going to enable us to develop and iterate agentic experiences to automate the majority of these core components of these workflows on the financial operations system that we're building, starting with AP and spend and expense. So lots of good stuff coming.
One of the things that I noticed on KPIs, you were talking about some of the things that are coming out from a staffing perspective. You know, one of the things that firms come to CPA.com about all the time and say, how do I price? And it's really hard to help people decide how to price, right? So we can give them a framework, we can give them a model, but you still need to know certain things. And there are certain things that we never have known in the past. How long does it take somebody to process an AP transaction from beginning to end? That was on one of the KPIs that you guys showed us. And I'm like, that's amazing, because you can now look at all the people that you have on your staff that are doing AP transactions, right? And you can look at and figure out like, what is normal,
100%.
right? What should we be using when we're doing pricing? And then also thinking about, who are my top performers and who are my people that are struggling, and without actually having the true details. You can guess, everything's a guessing game. A lot, you know, a lot of what we do is a guessing game when you think about the pricing perspective, how long things are going to take. Now you're going to actually have actual data that you're going to be able to look at. And that's amazing. That truly is amazing.
100% with the trainings that we can offer to help people get more efficient, educate them about the features that can enable them to be more efficient. And then you could see their progress over
Right.
time. It'll be, I'm excited for what this
Yeah,
is
and it
gonna
gives
be.
you targets. You know who
100%.
needs help and maybe who's
Yep.
struggling a little bit and who's actually knocking it out of the park, maybe ready to go to the next level, right?
Also,
I would say that the things that you just mentioned, the multi-entity console coming out, the enhanced console reporting and the automation AI powered features are the most transformational changes we've seen.
Thank you.
Yeah, being a partner of Bill. So I think it's a really exciting time to be part of the alliance here and using it to power our clients on the platform. And just can't say enough excitement about the multi-entity. I think it was really long awaited and really anxiously awaited, and it's really delivering on that value.
Thank you.
And you prioritized appropriately in terms of the approval and the payments being in bulk upfront, and it's unlocked doors to be able to put more of our clients onto the platform and take advantage of all of the different methods of payment and the vast vendor network that you have and all of those great things that previously were a little bit more challenging without that functionality. So we're super pumped.
Thank
about
you. I
that. Yes.
appreciate that. We are too. The team's doing great work.
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to ask you both the same question.
All
I'll
right.
let Michelle go first and then I'm going to let you wrap. Okay, so how do you think technology will shape accounting firms in the future?
All right. Well, shaping accounting firms in the future. So I think one thing is it's really going to force us to rethink a lot of the ways that we work and the ways that we get work done. And the job to be done is something that we have reflected on over the past couple of days here and just really honing in on how are we getting that job done. I think you touched upon it where a lot of deploying technology of the past is, okay, how are you doing it today? And how do we streamline that workflow? And I think we saw a great example recently, just referencing the whole process of the, motor engineering process from the steam engine, et cetera, and so on. And just that it wasn't just taking one thing and making it slightly better. It was completely retransforming how you're getting that thing done.
100%.
And so I think that's where we're at right now. And we're going to be forced to completely rethink how we're doing things in the best way ever. And it's going to enhance our jobs and really make our staff feel more engaged in the work that they're doing and really allow accountants to rise up to that advisory level faster and deeper and forge those deeper connections and relationships with our clients and not be so stuck in reviewing the work and all of those things. But I think in order to truly get there, we need to take a step back and really rethink how we're getting the work done.
Well said. I'm going to pose the same question to you, Ariege. How do you think technology will shape accounting firms in the future?
I go back, to where I started, which I think this community is going to benefit from an absolute avalanche of innovation this year and ongoing. And I think the winners are going to find a way to leverage that for their competitive advantage.
That's excellent. Thank you
Yeah.
guys both for joining me. It was fabulous as
So
always.
fun. Thank you.